Hello, lovely people. How are you doing? I hope you're well. This is Yeti with your Monday morning coffee, and it's a pleasure, as usual, to be spending your Monday morning with you. So happy Monday. Today, I'm going to be talking about something I've titled Just Stuff. At the beginning of the year, or beginning of the month, we're still in January to be honest, I had plans, I knew what I was going to do, but I was just a bit distracted and, my head was full, there was a lot going on, and I just couldn't focus. So I decided to do a clear out, and I did a whole overhaul of my belongings, my earthly belongings, I would say. And I just got rid of so many things. At a point, I was like, Yeti, you have nothing left. I packed them up and I went to drop them in the charity shop. And suddenly I felt lighter. I could focus. I had a plan. I could set my goals. I felt happier in myself. And I realized I can live on much less than I thought. I didn't need all those shoes and bags and clothes. And we can survive on much less than we have, believe it or not. But then while I was dealing with my own issues, something was happening in faraway California, in Los Angeles, with the wildfires, where people's multi-million-dollar mansions were destroyed in the twinkle of an eye. People lost their businesses, their livelihoods, and sadly, people lost their lives. And I remember watching an interview of one of the residents who had gone back to look at his property. And he was saying everything is gone. And I understand he'd been in that house for about 30 years. But then he made a statement. He said, at the end of the day, it's just stuff. Truly, it is just stuff. And stuff can be replaced if we choose to replace them. But there's so many lessons about what happened in LA. There's something about a storm. And a storm could be anything. Could be a natural disaster like we had in LA with the fires, or a flood, or a tsunami, or an earthquake. It could be an illness. The storms that come to us in life have no respect for who we are or what we stand for or where we live. They just come and they destroy everything in their wake. And I was watching one of the videos of the fire in LA burning a particular building. And I remember just sitting and just imagining the fire burning, the Birkin bags and the LV bags, the Rolex watches, the Cartier watches, and family heirlooms and documents and paintings. And it was just ravaging everything. You see, someone once said, never cry over anything that cannot cry over you. And that's true. Our worldly material possessions can be lost in an instant. And therefore, we must hold on to them loosely. Loosely. Not with our soul, our body, and our mind. No. We must hold on to material things loosely because they can be lost in an instant. The Bible is so clear about that. And Jesus said, do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, but lay up for yourself treasures in heaven. Because where your treasure is, that is where your heart would be. So the question this morning to us is, where is our treasure? Because that is where our heart is. What are you holding on to so tight that you think your very life depends on it? Everything we have, everything we will ever have is temporary. Let's hold on to the things of this life loosely and never forget. At the end of the day, it's just stuff. See you on the next one.